How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? We have got ourselves some Pokemon news and, of course, Pokemon leaks to talk about, but we're going to be starting off with the news information first. As you guys may have seen yesterday, the actual release date and the new trailer for Pokemon Champions did get released, but not just that, we also just now got some screenshots revealed for the Nintendo Switch 2 update for Pokemon Champions that will be coming out. Now, this is the first images of the Switch 2 version off screen. Second image is the Switch version, so according to Nintendo, it runs at a higher resolution. You'll see the left one, and then the right one, which is just high. I guess the Switch 2 version is just higher res. Not that I can really, again, I don't know. Somebody in the comments here says there's like difference in reflections, but then again, I don't know if we can really discern that from a picture like that's taken from, you know, not playing the game and an actual in-game screenshot. That's two different things. I don't know if you can count that, but that's one of the first things is the fact that, yes, Pokemon Champions is getting released. You guys probably have already seen the, the trailers and all for that because it just came out. The trailer just dropped. It's dropping on the 8th of April. So the 8th of April, it's dropping. It's like, not next week, the week after next week. So very, very soon is the main point I'm trying to get at. It's very soon releasing, which is great. But we do have some other stuff to talk about. For example, we now know the abilities of a bunch of different Pokemon that are going to be in here too. We know that Mega Emboar is going to be getting the ability Mold Breaker. We know that our boy Feraligatr gets a new ability called Dragon Skin, which normal moves become Dragon type with a 1.2 times boost, which is interesting. And it's called Dragonize in English, apparently. And then, of course, there is Meganium's new ability, which is a Mega Soul is the name of the ability. And it sets up harsh sunlight when using a move. So I guess I'm not sure which move, if it's really any move, but that's what that does. So they all have those abilities now. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's also now been confirmed that a free update for Champions, as we just mentioned, a graphics enhanced version of the game is going to be coming to Switch 2. Here's what the menu looks like in case you haven't seen it. There is a shop here, which you can go and buy with VP. You can buy, of course, items you may need or Mega Stones. And here you can see how much will you have to grind in Champions to play for free. The answer is a lot, okay? You get 200 VP per battle, and the interesting part is, if you want to recruit a Pokemon, it is 2,500 VP. Mega Stones cost 2,000 VP each. Changing a Pokemon's move is 250 VP. Maximizing a Pokemon's single stat is 330 VP. Changing nature is 500, and changing ability is 500. You can see the prices right there, which means approximately you would have to play like what? 10 games to get a Mega Stone, so 10 matches you'd have to play. Again, I don't know if it's you get 200 for winning or just 200 in general. I don't really know how they reward you. That is the big question, right? Like, you've probably earned like some points as well, like, you know, in other ways, but from missions and stuff. But yeah, also Pokemon Home update for Legends ZA and Champions releases on April 8th. So on the release date of the game, there will be Pokemon Home connectivity for anybody who wants that. Also, Pokemon Champions apparently finally introduces new animations for Pokemon battles. Yes, so when a Pokemon is hit by a move, we can actually see like a bunch of animations here. So a few things I noticed. The first is some, and this is from Jade, by the way, not all Pokemon, but some have new damage animations that are a little more exaggerated. This is just a still image, but you can tell Spiritomb has a new animation because its head faces left while it doesn't in its existing damage animation. You can see its face is all squished up too. Also, while most of the motions for this Tinkaton Fidget are new. It was previously only an out-of-battle animation, and now it has a variant for doing it in battle. And when a Pokemon is hit by a move, there is where the animation involves actual strikes. It actually recoils multiple times instead of just freeze-framing, lol. Also, the final strike uses the most powerful recoil animation. Sorry for low-quality GIF, but yes, basically, there are some new animations for this. They have actually put some effort into it, which is nice, I guess. It's nice to see that they didn't just completely, half-ass it. But we're not going to end there. We do have more stuff to talk about. The next thing here, we're just going to go through Center's tweets because I already have a bunch of these things open in separate tabs, but we're going to go through these ones quickly because they're all here. But we do have some Gen 10 related stuff. So this was posted by Moot. Now, Moot has some inside info, just like a few other people, though he does sort of do weird riddles with it too. But he says, "Can you feel the windy waves, OMG?" And it's a picture of I guess it's supposed to be N. You guys may know N from Pokemon Black and White. Trainer N. And I'm guessing this is supposed to be an implication that this is supposed to be some kind of character. Like, there's going to be a character in this game similar to him. Now, we do know that there is a few characters that will be important to the story. Like, for example, the evil guy in the story is going to be a hotel owner, and he has a son who's the heir to the, you know, fortune or whatever. So it's possible this could be the son, or this could be someone else that's also some sort of prophesized, you know, freaking, you know, human that's gonna, you know, be connected to Pokemon. Again, it seems like that's kind of the implication with this whole post. It feels like that's what they're talking about. So yeah, they even say here, teaser of a new Gen 10 character, which seems about right. But yeah, and again, we already spoke about the Switch 2 version of the games that's going to be coming out, so there's that. Now we're going to quickly run through some of the other stuff. Some new Pokemon from the release date trailer that we've seen. We got Spiritomb, we got the Dolphin, we got Audino, we got Snorlax, we got Meowstic, we got Rhyperior, Skarmory, Toxapex, and Meowscarada confirmed. We got Politoed, Lycanroc, Rotom, Kangaskhan, and Hippowdon. We got Hisuian Decidueye, which is very nice. We got Palmont, which is in the logo here at the battle logo in the menu. We got Golurk, we got Alolan Raichu, we got Excadrill, we got Hisuian Zoroark, Trevenant, Alolan Ninetales, and Diggersby. We got Slowbro, we got Torkoal, we got Glimora and Crocodile, we got Crabominable, we got Scovillain, Houndoom, Pelipper, and additional cameos are Meditite, Wailmer, Quaxly, Drifblim, and Spheal, which show up at some point. You know, you guys can see them here at, like, you know, up there and in logos and stuff. And Clefable as well. I don't know if that is everything. I think there might be more. So this is from February. So yeah, I feel like that pretty much summarizes most of the ones. In case anything was missed, that is pretty much the list from these fellas, which is nice. But yeah, it's pretty neat. Also, apparently, by the way, finally, our fella Meganium is going to actually be useful, which is nice. But yeah, also, here is some important stuff about monetization in this game. And this is going to be the part where a lot of, there's going to be a lot of YouTubers making videos about this. And you know, it's going to be a lot of people defending Nintendo and just being like, I want to spend my money on whatever. It's going to be a lot of drama on this one. But here is the monetization of this game. So how do they make money? Well, they don't call this game a free-to-play game. They literally refer to it as a free-to-start game, which I kind of hate that title, but it is what it is, though. Here's what they say about the monetization. Pokemon Champions monetization features membership. It's 700 yen a month, which is $4.50 a month, which, sorry, out of principle, I wouldn't pay that, but again, or 7,000 yen or 45 bucks a year. What do you actually get when you do this? You get an expanded box capacity, aka you can just put more Pokemon in a box in the game. Additional, adds additional battle team slots. Oh man, I just wish this game was buy to play. Why couldn't we just buy it one time for like 70 or 60 bucks and just be done with it? Adds additional battles at battle team slots, unlocks exclusive missions, and provides extra battle tracks. Okay. Then there's a premium battle. Why is this a separate thing? Premium battle pass, 1,400 yen per season. So that's $9 a season. Unlocks protagonist outfits, megastones, and other rewards. So listen, I'm not trying to be a judgy Jimmy and whatever. If people want to do it, whatever. It's at the end of the day, it's your money, not my money. It's your prerogative. You do what you want with it. But it's just, for me personally, it's a little ridiculous, okay? Because if we're really going to approximate here, if you're asking for $4.50 a month, right? Of course, if you do it for 1 year, it's cheaper. You know, you get 2 months for free. But let's say you want $4.50 a month plus the $9 a month, right? Let's just do the quick maths, right? 4.5 plus 9, right? 13.5 times 12 months. That is 160 bucks you spend, you know, a year you'd have to spend to get every premium battle pass, which, by the way, if you want to stay competitive, I would assume you have to, because that's the probably only way to get certain megastones and other rewards, unless you want to go through the process of spending money on buying, you know, previous games. Like, let's say if you're someone who never played X and Y or whatever, maybe don't have access to certain things, or maybe somebody who just doesn't want to play Legends ZA. It's your only option, right? So you're going to be having to spend at least 160 bucks, you know, within a year on this to get that. But that doesn't end there. You still have also the starter pack, which is a one-time purchase of 625, which increases your box capacity to 50 Pokemon and unlocks additional battle tracks. So you could approximately spend 160 bucks a year on this, and I personally don't see why. I mean, a singular Pokemon journey, like okay, I'm just going to put it like this. Showdown is free, okay? Showdown is free. You can just play Showdown, to be fair. And previously, at least you bought a game that was an actual game and not just a battle simulator. You would buy a game that had a bunch of more stuff, you know, a story, you know, shiny hunting, etc. This is just a battling part of it, which is not a problem. But, man, I feel like, listen, again, if competitive people are happy with it, then fine. I personally, if I was a competitive player, I would kind of be fuming at this, but that's just me. I'm not going to say nothing. That's just me. It's just my opinion. And if people like it, if people are happy with it, it's their own prerogative. Also, apparently, the Pokemon Company is hiring real-life Pokemon professors with PhDs in ecology, which is really cool because they do love to use real-life, actual, whether it be, like, geographical information, historical information, or in this case, ecology, which of course would make sense because the ecology is the nature itself, the environment, and the, you know, ecosystem in certain areas, like how do the fish specifically live in this part of the world, or how do the rodents, you know, behave in this part of the world, etc. So it makes sense that they're doing this and that they're hiring people for this. It's not like crazy, you know, just in general. But yeah, it's kind of nuts, all the stuff we've seen. Also, it seems that all the megas will be available on day one of Pokemon Champions. As you can see, the scroll bar in the Megastone section appears to be much longer than in other sections. I mean, I'd hope so. You know, I'd hope so. Then again, we do know that some Megastones are in the Battle Pass specifically, so I do wonder how that's going to work. Very curious. In terms of customization, there looks to be a decent amount of it, though I'm not like the biggest fan of most of the outfits. They kind of look a little lame, just personally, just my opinion, but you know, it is what it is. I ain't gonna say nothing more. Also, a really interesting point that somebody made was that this is a weird, weird set of things. When it was showing up you recruiting Pokemon, they showed pictures of 3 Pokemon that we've not really seen before. Now, one of these are like silhouettes. This kind of looks like that dragon statue. You guys know the dragon statue I'm referring to? Like the dragon statue that's in front of the gyms from back in the day, right? Like the Pokemon gyms. So it looks like that. This looks like it could be like Chikorita's head, but doesn't really look like fully like a leaf. So it's weird. And whatever this is. So some people are speculating, who are these Pokemon from the recruit part of Champions? They don't look like the silhouettes of any Pokemon that we know. No shot they introduce new Winds and Waves Pokemon like this, right? This would be a really cool way if they did do it. If they did introduce new Winds and Waves Pokemon through Champions like this, actually goated way of cross-promoting, really good way to get people into like Champions and give Champions some extra attention, because remember, Champions is not going to appeal to certain people. Like, I'll put it like this, my wife, she does not give a shit about Pokemon Champions. It's not a game for her. It's literally just battling. There is no story there. I mean, if you want to count doing missions as a story, which is just more battling, but like, that's not a game that, you know, somebody like her would be into. There's a lot of people that wouldn't care about that part. People like, you know, different aspects of Pokemon. I think Pokopia is a good example of that. Certain people that love battling might not give any care about that, but they would love to play a game like this because they love battling. Whereas maybe people that love Pokopia just do not care about Champions. So I'm just saying, this game may not necessarily appeal to a lot of people, but if you maybe want to try to get a few people in, it's a good idea to maybe do this, throw a little bit of Winds and Waves in there and be like, hey guys, I mean, if you want to be really scummy, you could be like, hey guys, I mean, I know they're not going to do it because there's no way of sending Pokemon from Champions to other games. You can only do it from other games to Champions. There's no other way. You cannot take Pokemon that you got in Champions and put them into home or whatever. They can only stay there, but you can take Pokemon from other games into Champions and then take them back. However, it would be pretty cool if they were to introduce new Pokemon this way. It would be a really, really, really cool thing. Or they could also end up being exclusive Pokemon, similar to how I think Pikachu and Moslax and those guys from Pokopia will probably be exclusive to that game. So it is what it is. Also, just a quick little thing from Jordan. He had a bit of a theory saying, I was curious what kind of fossil Pokemon Southeast Asian region might offer, but since Google only wants to tell me how they found human fossils in the region. Anyways, if we do get new fossils, I hope we go through an interactive mechanic like Sinnoh and not Galar. I do agree. This little mini game, y'all, if didn't play it like back in the day, you don't get how this was really fun. Like this was enjoyable. And it's unfortunate that they didn't really do something similar. And I feel like, man, I miss the mini games in Pokemon games. I do miss them. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I think that pretty much summarizes the information for now. I think I've gone through the most important stuff. And I want to thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out and bye-bye, ladies and gents.